While Trump was speaking, there were protests going on. Buffalo police had to handle that. For more on that, we head to News 4's Callan Gray, who was keeping an eye on those protests outside as they were happening.
There were more than 100 protesters out here across the street from First Niagara Center, but other than shouting back and forth with supporters, Buffalo police say there were no major incidents before the rally began. Now, once the rally started, we witnessed more than a dozen protesters get kicked out of the rally, and then once it was finished, 2 people were arrested at the Metro rail line after some people went onto the line over here at Main and Exchange Streets. Earlier today, the protesters held a drum circle. They chanted and they spoke to people who were coming to the rally. But the protesters and the supporters were kept far apart. They were on opposite sides of the streets, and metal barricades were actually up, separating the groups. And in between those barricades were a line of Buffalo police, New York State police, and sheriff's deputies, making sure that there were no problems today. There were also Buffalo peacemakers out here as a liaison between the crowds of protesters and the law enforcement agencies here. Protesters told us today that they had problems with Donald Trump's stance on immigration, on human rights, and some people say that it just seems like this campaign is a publicity stunt.
Donald Trump promotes racism and sexism. He wants to build walls instead of building unity, and I feel that he would be a terrible president, so I think we need to show the alternative.
We're not about hate, we're about peace and love and inclusion, because Buffalo is great because we're a city of refugees, we're a city of people of color, we're a city of inclusion.
Now, Marissa, we have been out here together all day, and we were standing there watching these protesters get thrown out earlier.
Absolutely. You know, some tense moments we witnessed earlier this evening between Buffalo police and those protesters. Now, we know tonight 6 people total were arrested today outside of First Niagara Center. We're also hearing that a total of 21 people total were kicked out of First Niagara Center after or during the rally today. Now, we saw 2 of these arrests happen firsthand outside of the arena. Erie County sheriffs carried these 2 people, 2 women, by their arms and legs out of a side door. Erie County sheriffs were responsible for physically removing any of these protesters from the arena. Now, we spoke with protesters who say they're part of a social justice group called Showing Up for Racial Justice Action. They claim Trump is promoting racism in every speech. Buffalo police say this group basically conducted a sit-in inside of the arena, and within the first 2 minutes of the rally, they were asked to leave, and they didn't. That's why they were forcefully removed. Again,
this isn't just about Trump. This is an entire political establishment in Western New York that allows racism to hurt people of color and all of us.
Building a wall? I'm a Christian pastor. Building a wall is the antithesis of Christianity. Donald Trump calls himself a Christian. He is not a Christian.
Meanwhile, moments after this rally ended, another confrontation with protesters. This time, it's at the Metro rail stop on Exchange and Main Street. Now, police say people went on the tracks and they tried to stop the train here. Dozens of police and state police held batons, forming a line blocking any of these protesters from getting onto the tracks. Again, Teresa, a total of 6 arrests made here tonight. Overall, though, we spoke with Buffalo police. They say that tonight was a success and they're overall happy with how tonight went. Teresa, back to you.